Let's pop over to the usage side now, and notice when I do that, you have a whole new set of tabs that show up. These all have to do with usage. So if I want to see my current checkouts, I just click Current Overview. This is that table. Shows me everything currently checked out by feature name, number of licenses, number in use, any reserved, and then percentage of total. Current checkout data. And I can also look at current checkout data as a gas gauge. So again, these are all my tools that are currently checked out, and I want to know, okay, I got 16 of these checked out. I can click on that blue. The blue brings up the detail. So here's my 16 people that have it checked out. And I can sort the table by clicking on column heading. So my longest checkout is 1 hour, 49 minutes, 55 seconds. It's M. Donahue, and if I want to know who is M. Donahue, I click on his name. Up pops the information from Active Directory, where he's located, the office, the department, phone number, email, everything you need to know about that engineer is right here. So that's available to you. Then this is that LM remove button. If you click on that, if you have the proper permissions, you can remove the license and put it back in the pool. So that's current checkout details. So I showed you the overview, the current gas gauge display, and then all the detail reports are underneath that. I can also show you what the 8182 view looks like. So this is the home page. I'm still in 8181 right now, but these are all the tags that I'm monitoring usage on. So these are all floating licenses. Tells me the type, FlexLM or RLM, whatever license type it is. And then you can get a history graph. Let me show you this one right here. And so these are all the features at that ported host. And this is giving me a view. This is that history graph I mentioned before. So the tool is NX. This happens to be a 7-day graph, but I can make a 30-day graph, 90, 180, year-to-date, whatever. And then, so that's the picture. And notice the dynamic nature. I can move my cursor around, and it's giving me the value at that particular point. Again, this is my capacity, 15 up here. And this is the average line down here. It shows me the average usage during this time period. And then I have my 2 pie charts, top 10 users relative to total duration of checkout of this tool in this time period, as well as count, number of checkouts in this time period. So lots of data here. It depends on how you want to, what you want. So that's the history graph. Let me show you the user details. The same tool. User detail is basically showing me everybody that's used this tool, and it happens to be the last 7 days. So these are all the engineers that use it in the last 7 days. This is their usage time. So this guy Vogler is the biggest user of this, and he used it 6.9% of the time. So again, this is your basis for chargeback over here by engineer. And since this is a table, I have the ability to sort by clicking on the column heading, which I just did, or I can export it to Excel. If I did that, submit, this gets dumped out as an Excel spreadsheet. I can create a favorite. Let's say, oh, I like this report, and I want to just make a favorite out of it. So if I do submit, all I do is give it a name. So this is NX current usage detail. I didn't spell that right, but who cares? So now whenever I click on this NX usage detail favorite, it brings up that report. So that's how easy it is to create favorites using this favorites tab. Notice when I did that, it took me to 8182. Notice the difference between this view and the other view that I had. Notice the 2 views. So this is 8182. This is 8181. 8181, you need to come in through the user login page, and it gives you access to the asset information. 8182 does not. Very limited on what you can see. So notice you have your favorites tab. You also have the ability to create these available license alerts from here. So if I am an engineer and I want to be alerted when a specific license comes available, you know, maybe I'm looking for an NX license right here. I can come over here and create whatever the feature is that I'm looking for, and give me my email address and submit it. So what will happen now, as soon as the license becomes available, it's going to go ahead and send me that alert. And then if I don't need that anymore, I just come in here and delete it. So that alert's gone. But that's the basis for the available license alert. Let me show you a couple more reports. The group detail report. Let's look at that MATLAB. I want to know how each group. So in the last, this defaults to 7 days. So in the last 7 days, these are all the groups that used this tool, and this is how much time they used it, and this is their percentage of total. And again, I have the same options here. I can create a favorite. I can create a batch report. I can export this to Excel. All tables can be handled the same way. So that's the group detail report. The heat map, I think I already covered that pretty well. 24/7 way of looking at checkouts. The concurrency graph, again, it's a way of looking at, let's just pick MATLAB, and you can see the concurrent use. Let's do accumulated and Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and hit submit. So now I'm looking at this product, MATLAB, this tool MATLAB, over this time period, and I own 20 licenses, and yes, I did use 20.4% of the time. There's a general rule in asset management or for licenses that you want to get about, you can get rid of up to 5%. And down here, this is Monday through Friday. This is 24/7. This one is Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So if your licenses are being used around the world, multiple time zones, you're going to rely more on the 24/7 graph. If all your licenses are local area network, same time zone, you're probably going to use the Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 graph. Looks like that. And again, these are very important at renewal time. So that's the concurrent. We got the denials reports. We got the zero use reports. And we have the averages report. If I do a quick report on averages, let's just pick 7 days. This is a report that you can set it up as a batch report if you want, but it gives you each feature that was used at a given ported host, and it's telling you how much the total usage time was of that tool, of that feature in this period. It's telling you the average checkout time. So on this NX, the average checkout time was 1 hour, 27 seconds. I had an average of 77.5 users, and I hit maximum 25 times in this period. So this is a very useful report just to get a general sense of overall usage of this tool. This makes a great monthly batch report or quarterly batch report. So that's pretty much all of these reports are by specific tags. So each of these is a different ported host. And so you get these complete set of reports by tag, but we also have up here more comprehensive averages. So this is averages, the same as this, but this is going to be averages across all the tags. And again, this might be, so you can see here's all the different tags, and this is the usage of every feature. And the same information, average checkout time, average number of users, and how many times it hit max. Again, this might be a very useful, 90-day batch report. We also have combined feature tables and combined feature graph. So if I do the graphs on this, right now it's looking for, see how many different how many different servers are on each tool. So it takes a minute for this to come up. So I know MATLAB, we had MATLAB on 3 different servers. So it's given me the ability to pick what combination of servers I want to show plotted together. Let's pick all 3 and let's do 7 days. And so this is going to show me in one graph all 3 servers. You can see the different servers, different colors, what their capacities are, and the black is the combined total. Again, this is only useful if you have the same feature, the same tool running on multiple license servers. And there's 2 different ways of doing that, the graphs and the tables. Multiple feature, this is just the ability to, let's say we want to, well, this is only one feature. That's not too good of a deal, but let's go to the NX one. We have a lot of features. So these are all the features. So I can pick any combination that I want and sort of plot them together. And I just hit submit, a time period, and submit, and it would bring up that particular graph for me. Then we have the comprehensive zero usage. So if you recall, we could do zero usage over here. by a specific tag. And all this is comprehensive zero. So this is going to go across all the tags. And again, this makes a great monthly or quarterly batch report. And then the denials, these are different ways of looking at denials. These are different ways of looking at specific user detail reports. These are all your batch reports in one place. And if I look at this, you'll see I've got a lot of different batch reports set up, weekly, monthly, quarterly, how they're delivered, who gets them. And you can come in here and change this information if you want. Just click update if you need to. But very, very easy to create and maintain batch reports. This is where you would create your batch report for all features at a given tag, either by table or by graph. This is the favorites. I already talked about that. These are all reports that you can get to just by, clicking on that link. It brings up that report. So that's very helpful for your on-demand reports. Let me go back over to the other view, because there's one. Well, these are all the alerts that I want to show you, where you can set up your capacity alerts. We have MATLAB set for 14. If it reaches 14 concurrent checkouts, it's going to send me an email. On this one, it's 10, and it'll send an email to this person. So this capacity threshold alerts, available license alerts. There's a number of these that are still available, like when licenses become available. Daemon down. So in this example, we've got 3 different people that are going to get alerted if a daemon goes down. These are the expirations alerts for the license keys. And you can see different people can get different alerts for different warning periods on different tag names. So it's quite flexible. And then lastly, the long checkout alerts, we have one set up for MATLAB at 8 hours, and we have one set up for this NX test for 12 hours. If anybody exceeds that, it's going to send an alert. And then it can also send, in this case, it'll send a warning letter to that user saying, hey, you've exceeded the limit, buddy. On this one, it doesn't send the warning letter. So you can be selective on how you want to do that. So the alerts is pretty powerful in this tool. Parsers, I'm not going to get into that. And then lastly, this is the feature name aliasing thing that I mentioned. So all your feature names across all the tags are going to be listed here on the left. And some of the feature names are pretty good. MATLAB, that's pretty good. But some of the feature names by the vendor are not good. And so this gives you the ability to change them. Like I didn't like that feature name, so I changed it to TestAccuRev and then hit update. So going forward, when it generates the report on this usage, it's going to show it as TestAccuRev. So you can do it interactively by changing it here, or you can come down here and export this table. Again, this could be 300 or 400 features. Just export that to Excel. Offline, then you can change the feature names on the ones that you want, and then save it. Then you use choose file to browse to that, and then hit import, and it'll automatically come in here and set up all your new feature names for you. So that's all included. Everything that I've talked about here is included.